Alright. Shitty camera has been set up again. Headphones are in a spot that I don't really have a spot for. And, well, I think it's finally time to record the monthly special. What is the monthly special? I don't know yet. That rain better not have been caught in the video. Why is the video footage upside down? Pinnacle, why is it that every time I stick camera footage into your editing software, you flip it over? Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Ed, and welcome to the monthly special. You know, lockdown has been very difficult. You want to know why I know that? Because I had to swap shirts. Damn it, I forgot to swap the chairs again! You want to know what the worst part about lockdown is, as far as I'm concerned? Having to switch outfits so the audience don't have to see the fact that you've gained a lot of weight. As I'm sure you've noticed by now, I've been trying to keep a pretty decent maintained schedule of at least one video every Wednesday. Obviously, sometimes I'll put more in, which is always a good thing. But I want to do more than that. I want to do more than just a few Let's Play videos every Wednesday, although that is fun to do. I want to create something big, something that requires a lot of effort and work, something that I can do with other people, something that I can do that I can feel proud of. I want to make more content like that. But there's no way in how I'll be able to pull out something like that every week. So how about instead of every week, we set it up to be every month? And to make my life easier, how about the end of every month? So if everything goes well, and I didn't f*** up yet, you should be watching this If everything goes well, you should be able to watch this by Halloween night. That's all I wanted to say right now. Obviously, there's more. Please keep watching. Luckily, I even hinted this in my first camera filmed video. I actually have a project I've been working on for a while. All that's left now is to start editing it. Ladies and gentlemen, let us begin the editing phase of Sonic Adventure 1. You know, the one for Steam. I can't record any other variation of that game. Alright, I've got Pinnacle software all set up, and my Sonic Adventure DX videos have all been recorded. Let's pop this in the editing software and see what we can work with. Whoa, wait, whoa, what the heck? Why is this so... Wow! That's kind of fast! Look at this monstrous speed! Apparently my editing software just can't handle the program that I use to record Sonic Adventure DX. I do have a solution to fix this, but by the time I utilize that method, I'll be too late. I just won't have enough time to edit and work on this by the time the end of Halloween rolls around. So yeah, I'm not exactly ready to start working on a video for Sonic Adventure DX just yet, what with my shitty camera and horrible editing software. But I still want to make a video this month. So what should I make a video on? Something that doesn't really need a whole lot of footage. Maybe something like Pokemon! How about Pokemon Sword and Shield? How about no? I love Pokemon. I grew up with the series and aged alongside the games for as long as I could remember. Even after giving up on the core series thanks to the hard dedication of a bad director, whom I refuse to give even the satisfaction of saying his own name for him, I will probably keep an eye on the franchise for perhaps close to my entire life, as dumb or pathetic as that may be. And even though the main series games post-Iwata hasn't been the best of quality, that doesn't mean the Pokemon that were introduced during those games were bad. Like at all. I can't really say I hate any of them, because none of those Pokemon are Garchomp. In fact... Wait. That concept may not be the best for me. Mostly because if I did just that, more than half the Pokemon I chose would be more or less the same. So how about we take this up a notch and go for a top 18. One Pokemon per type. At least then we'll get some variety, right? To be specific, for this list, I've decided to rank my favorite Pokemon for every type, meaning I'll be listing off one Pokemon that I like the most within that type group. Type overlapping isn't really that big of a deal to me since a lot of Pokemon have dual types. Sometimes a guy's favorite ground type is Sandshrew, and his favorite ice type is Mamoswine, who is also a ground type. Did that make sense? I also want to point out that during the lower ranked Pokemon, if I say something along the lines of least favorite Pokemon, I simply mean that out of my favorite Pokemon, I like others just a bit more. For real though, I do genuinely love every single Pokemon I ranked for this list. So just because I say least favorite, doesn't make that Pokemon my least favorite literally. That position would definitely have to go to Garden.
Oh my god, Ed. How many times are you gonna abuse that Pokemon? The joke is getting old.
What the? Brett? What are you doing here? How did you get here?
Don't you remember? Whenever you utter anything Pokemon, there's a chance for me to appear and join in on the fun.
That is true. We've been playing Pokemon together since high school. Still doesn't explain how you appeared in my video, though.
Dude, whatever. Can I join in or not?
I mean, since you're here already, sure. I guess that means we'll be talking about a total of 36 Pokemon instead of 18.
Well, you did mention you wanted this video to be longer, right?
I mean, yeah, I did say that.
So what's the problem?
Nothing. I just can't believe that for my first monthly special, I'll be sending out the big guns so soon.
What else did you expect? I'm honestly hurt you didn't bother to include me to begin with.
Well, it wasn't personal or anything.
So anyways, how did you plan to start this before I came along?
Well, I was going to explain how I formed and decided upon my list. Maybe that way you can have an idea on how to set your list up?
Alright, go ahead. I'm gonna start as you talk.
Fair enough, Brett. First, I listed all 18 types by themselves, and then started writing what my favorite Pokemon was for each type.
Okay, go on.
Then from there, once I had a list of 18 Pokemon, I then ranked those 18 from the ones I absolutely love to the Pokemon I still really like. I have to admit, it was pretty hard ranking some of these Pokemon, especially choosing which type to place a dual-type Pokemon to make room for another.
Done.
Done? Well, no, I'm not done. I still have a little more to explain here.
No, I mean, I'm done with the list. I have my favorite Pokemon ranked and all ready for the video.
Wait, really? That was fast.
Well, honestly, I had my Pokemon listed and ready the whole time, but I saw that you were trying to make a joke, so I thought I'd play along. Just to be clear, I ranked my Pokemon with pretty much the same method, so it's all good.
Oh, well, thank you for going along with it. If only for a little bit. I mean, I guess we did kinda work on this video for the past few weeks. Oh well, I'll try to be entertaining during the rest of the video. Before we get to the big 1-8, I'd like to cover the close calls. That's what I was going to go over when I said I had a bit more to explain.
Close calls? You mean like honorable mentions?
You got it. I can't speak for Brett, but I had some very close runner-ups that I would like to shout out real quick. Cincino, Delmise, Braviary, Primarina, Lopunny, and Grapploct. These guys were all heavily considered, but due to the rules of this list, they just didn't make the cut. I just couldn't leave these guys behind. That being said, if I did have to choose an unofficial number 19, I would have to go with Lopunny.
Gee, I wonder why. If we're doing runner-ups, then my few would have to be Charjabug, Ariados, Mimikyu, Feraligatr, Noivern, and Regice. Yes, I know that's not how his name is pronounced. No, I do not care. Moving on.
No unofficial alright. Guess that's just me then. Well, somebody had to crack the floor, but seeing as how there are currently 898 Pokemon more or less, I think being 18 out of close to 900 is a pretty gigantic honor. Spoiler alert, most of my favorite Pokemon are those that I actually use in Pokemon games, main series or otherwise. And unless it's a massive exception, then I don't really feel justified putting a Pokemon I only really like superficially high on the list. Such is the case of Zoroark. Now, don't get me wrong, I still love Zoroark. Seeing this Pokemon revealed for the first time before I entered high school got me super excited. A darker, more badass version of Lucario? Hell yes, I wanted that!
Edgelord.
Keep in mind, I was around 13 when Black and White came out. I like to think that my views on my, interests have since matured slightly. That said, in the case of Zoroark, even now I can still appreciate his design and abilities, even if I don't personally use one. Even if Game Freak doesn't think of Zoroark as anything special anymore, I just can't let go of what a unique and cool Pokemon Zoroark, and by extension Zorua, are. I mean, just look at that hair! But since appreciation of design is only a small fraction of the Pokemon, I can't really place the Illusion Fox higher. Side note, we could have gotten Zoroark in Smash had Game Freak pushed him just a little bit harder. But nope, we got this idiot's pet toad instead. Damn it. Generation 5 is better than people think.
You just can't help but try to get Generation 5 on a higher pedestal. As for my 18th slot, I'm gonna have to put the normal type Linoone. To this day, I still think Linoone is the coolest looking rodent on the beginning routes of region. His sleek design, amazing shiny coloration, and a multitude of amazing moves definitely earns its spot here. However, I do still have to put him on the bottom because other Pokemon I have later on this list prove to have a more special place in my heart. Linoone will still be my favorite furry fella of the normal types.
I know you're referring to Hoennies Linoon when talking about your favorite, but out of curiosity, what's your take on the Galarian variant of Linoon?
I actually like Galarian Linoon a lot. It's obvious Game Freak was taking inspiration from the band Kiss, but that aside, the new dark typing and evolution actually made me like Linoon even more.
But this one's not actually your number 18 pick.
Nope, just normal Linoon. As much as I enjoy both, I have more of a connection with the original. Digressing, let's continue onward.
Another amazingly designed Pokemon, and the only reason I haven't used one yet is because, well, I have tried to use Cursula in Showdown, but so far, not much luck. First of all, my expectations for Gen 8 was so far in the dirt that I was expecting that every Galarian variant revealed to us would be only more Kanto Pokemon like in Gen 7, because that is a reasonable possibility with Game Freak at the helm. I didn't expect other gens to get a chance, so when I saw Zigzagoon and frickin' Yamask with some genetic variations, I was mildly surprised. Keep in mind that while I actively dislike Sword and Shield, I love the Pokemon that came from them. And then I saw Cursula, and that's all, folks. Look at this thing! This guy's expression is my spirit animal. If I didn't already have an avatar mascot, I would have gone full Cursula. But again, I don't really have that much of a bond with Cursula yet, so the dead Coral Demon will have to wait until Game Freak stops acting apathetic towards their games and fanbase.
For my next entry, it was a bit of a bittersweet judgment. I've chosen to put the Ice type on my 17th spot, and that belongs to Frostmoth. She's such a beautiful Pokemon. Her animations are flawless, and her overall look is extremely elegant. That being said, Frostmoth is as fragile as she looks.
Stay tuned, folks.
Having two quadruple weaknesses, both being extremely common types, Frostmoth can't really hold out on her own unless properly trained within her niche. I'm not one to bash a Pokemon for its stats, and by no means am I doing it now. I still plan to try and make Frostmoth work, determined even. Regardless, with all these attributes combined, this is the standing for the Frostmoth Pokemon on my list.
Hey look, another dark type. Also near the bottom at number 16. Difference is, I actually use Crocodile, or at least I try to. His defensive stats are not the best, so he goes down relatively quickly in Showdown. But like Brett with Frostmoth, I'm still trying to use him more often. Honestly, I picked up Crocodile on a whim. I needed an Earthquake user, but I wanted a Pokemon that wasn't heavily overused. So I gave the Dirt Croc a try. My Crocodile, which I named Gabriel, definitely can hold his own. In the battle tree, he utilized Earthquake flawlessly, and in battles against my friends, nobody expected him to taunt, throwing off their strategies at the start of the game and giving me a huge advantage. Like I said before, however, he goes down pretty easily, so having a real memorable moment with him could take a while, especially in Showdown. Outside of using one in battle, I don't really have an opinion on Crocodile. He looks fine in general, and I'm glad the anime gave him a chance to shine as a mainish character, but I'm not really attached to Gabriel just yet. Perhaps in the future.
For me, fighting types haven't really been a priority in terms of favorites. Usually I can just teach a good fighting move to one of my other Pokemon. They're probably my least liked type as a whole, but I have to give Lucario his credit. I don't use one competitively, but I have to appreciate the Aura Pokemon for his badass design, unique lore and style, as well as having a Mega Evolution. When I first caught wind of him, I honestly thought he was a legendary Pokemon, and he acts like it too. There's just this aura of coolness around him. I'll see myself out now.
I love puns. I can't believe I'm about to put a Kanto Pokemon on this list, yet alone a Kanto starter Pokemon. But I guess this was inevitable, seeing as how I literally grew up alongside the franchise, and the Pokemon Company never stopped pushing these 9, 6, 7 as the faces of Pokemon. But Pikachu. I don't consider any of these Pokemon to be my partner, and the reason is connected to my life. I'm the baby of my family, separated by my two siblings by around 6 years. When I was only a year old, my siblings sunk hours into Pokemon. My sister chose Charmander and my brother went with Squirtle, and for the next few years, I grew up and watched as they battled and traded together on the Game Boy. Fast forward to me finally being old enough to understand the franchise and wanting to play, but by then both of them had moved on, with neither of them wanting to play with me. My parents weren't about to buy a new copy of Pokemon for me when we had multiple versions of the Pokemon games at home, so I had to play one of my siblings' old Pokemon games. The problem? The two of them played so much, they dried the batteries inside all of their Pokemon games. So for many years, I had to play Red, Blue, Gold, and Silver as single runs, not knowing why my save data kept deleting itself when I turned off any of the games. Because of all this, I never got attached to any Gen 1 or 2 Pokemon. Never got far, never explored the region, never got to truly enjoy the Kanto or Johto regions, only having word of mouth from my older siblings that Charizard or Blastoise was the best, depending on who was around to see me play the game. Which brings us to Ivysaur. As I just explained, I have pretty much no memories or experience with any of these Pokemon, only having the anime to go on. So why do I love Ivysaur now? And why not Bulbasaur or Venusaur? The answer? Well, isn't it obvious?
Colors weave into a spire of flame. Distant sparks call to a past still unnamed. Bear this torch against the cold of the night. Search your soul and reawaken the undying light.
I had taken a break from Smash Bros. Since the fourth one came out, and I had begun to experiment with new fighters I wanted to get good with. I played Pokemon Trainer during Brawl, but stopped since only Charizard was any decent. But just by chance, during a party at Carl's house, I picked up Pokemon Trainer again during Ultimate, and almost by instinct, I switched to the Pokemon that neither my brother nor my sister picked. And well, nowadays I have my beloved Ivysaur amiibo front and center on my shelf where I keep my other figures. I became so iconic with using Ivysaur and Smash in my group of friends that my roommate actually bought me a Bulbasaur keychain because he couldn't find one for Ivysaur. I suppose it's only fitting, completing the triangle of Pokemon trainers with my sister's Charizard, my brother's Blastoise, and perhaps my eventual Venusaur. Although, to be blunt, there's another grass-type starter that I truly consider to be my partner. To put it poetically, my siblings started their adventure with Charmander and Squirtle, but I caught my Kanto Pokemon as an Ivysaur, far into my Pokemon career, and nowhere near the damn Kanto region. I promise to try and keep any future segments more brief, seeing as how we're covering 36 Pokemon here.
Speaking of grass types, Flapple drops in for number 15. He's one of the newer additions to the roster thanks to Sword and Shield being the most recent games. I was able to get a Gigantamax Flapple for my playthrough, and he carried me through a good portion of the game. I love his absolutely adorable design, and his typing was completely unexpected for an apple. I eventually plan to make a competitive one to use once Sword and Shield unlocks all Pokemon to be available. I would have done so sooner, but all of my treasured Pokemon are in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and I'm not willing to separate them just yet. All that aside, Flapple is easily my favorite Grass-type Pokemon, and I can't wait to use him with the rest of my team in the future.
I didn't even really want to use a Dragon Pokemon due to them being way too overused and way too overpowered. I gave Hydreigon a chance due to Brett hyping him up during my adventure in Kalos after beating the league, but actually no, that was a good move. Hydreigon slaps. But he's not on my list. Instead, number 14 goes to Kommo-o, which was the only Pokemon from my Alolan adventure that I kept around for the post-game. Come to think of it, my Kommo-o Jethro is the only Pokemon besides Primarina that I even remember was on my team, and yet I can rattle off every single Pokemon I used during my Hoenn romp. Strange.
Wait, did you just praise Aura?
Game Boy version, although I suppose my teams were fairly the same for both.
Oh.
I thought Kommo-o's design was fine, but I only really caught a Jangmo-o to balance out my team, as far as I can remember. After I beat the league and began preparing for a long streak in the battle tree, I went, God damn it, I need a dragon to survive the tree too? So I started breeding for a Jangmo-o and began to raise it. And boy am I glad I did, because Jethro is a true beast. At least in the Frontier. I'm sure if I used him in Showdown, he'd get blipped in one hit like the rest of my team. I'm really bad at Showdown.
Meanwhile, I wasn't expecting to find a decent wolf Pokemon for a while, but then Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon gave us Lycanroc Duskform. I know that Sun and Moon already had Midday and Midnight, but Dusk's overall look and mix between the two prior forms made him a lot more badass in my opinion. I have a shiny one named Fenrir, and he's easily one of my favorite Pokemon due to his references and design. With access to both Accelerock and his own unique Z-move, it adds more to love about the wolf Pokemon. I don't use him too terribly often, but he holds a place in my heart for being a long-desired Pokemon to have in the games. I used to rely on other canine Pokemon like Mighty Anna to fill the void in my heart, but it's nice to finally have some true Wolven recognition.
What the fu- Another Kanto Pokemon? I had to justify Ivysaur's place with my life story, and now I gotta do it again? No, don't even. This one is shorter. During the time I just started college, I was participating in my city's VG Pokemon Association trying to, enjoy the game, when everybody I faced kept throwing out Charizard. Because of course they were. Like, multiple dumbass Charizards in the same party. One of the gym leaders at the association must have seen this coming, because he started giving away perfect IV Aerodactyls with Stealth Rock to combat this very boring event due to Charizard overpopulation. A few of us took the leader's offer, and with our Aerodactyls, we clashed with the Nostalgian army and dominated the leagues that day. And honestly, I've been using Aerodactyl ever since. Moral of the story? Don't think that you can win with 6 of the same overleveled Pokemon, because someone is gonna get sick of your bullshit and wreck you with the perfect counterattack. This also applies to a team of 6 Mythicals and Legendaries too, but this is about the Amberdactyl. Moves fast, hits like a truck, and can devour fire lizards. Checks in the mail, bitches!
I love that you remember the bitches part.
It just came naturally.
Regardless of questionable hate towards Cantonian Pokemon, Steelix comes into my next spot. I've always liked Onix back in Gen 1 due to being a giant snake made of boulders. He was so big and powerful, and I'd always get excited when Brock sent out his signature Pokemon. When Gen 2 rolled around, I was pleasantly surprised to have Onix evolve into the intimidating Steelix. Boasting one of the highest base defense stats, it took a lot to hurt such an imposing Pokemon. I always hated that I couldn't get a Steelix in the original Gold and Silver, because he was easily my favorite Pokemon in that generation, tied with Kingdra, who I also couldn't achieve. To be honest, I have so many amazing memories of Steelix. I'm surprised he's not higher on this list. Watching Jasmine use him in the anime, and I had a Shining Steelix card back in my TCG collection days. You would not believe how excited I became when I found a wild Steelix on Iron Island. It was my first real chance to have a Steelix on my team without having to worry about trading. When he finally got a Mega Evolution to boot, I acknowledged that it was about time I raised a competitive one. His current name is Dirge, based off of the Snake Colossus in the Shadow of the Colossus game, though I'll be renaming him soon, as the name fits better for my shiny Gigantamax Sandaconda. Naming aside, once Steelix got his ball rolling with Curse, I would use Gyro Ball and Wreck House. Sadly, he's strictly a double battle Pokemon in my roster, with his partner being a Follow Me Togekiss named Waltz. And even though his niche is super specific for me, I'm still glad to have a Steelix on my team.
I was gonna start this segment by singing Fly Like an Eagle, but, Celesteela isn't really an eagle. Or a bird. Or even a... Okay, what even is this thing? Bamboo Space Rocket! I will always defend the Ultra Beasts. Oh, but they don't look like Pokemon!
That's the point.
They're supposed to look strange. They're interdimensional space beings. The first time I saw Nihilego at the Aether Foundation, I had never seen one before, and my brain melted. It looked so bizarre, not even a Pokemon the slightest, and I loved it. As for Celesteela, I played Sun version, so I actually didn't get to catch one. I had caught 4 Kartana due to the Looker and Annabelle quest, and Brett had caught 4 Celesteela. It didn't happen right away, but eventually we traded Pokemon. Actually, so did Colleen. And soon enough, I juiced a Celesteela with bottle caps and candies, named it Andromeda, and took the Pokemon League by storm. Pull the opponent down with gravity, earthquake them into oblivion, finish the job with Heavy Slam. Yeah, good luck keeping your electric type alive during this. Andromeda is bulky as hell. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to perfect this strategy for the Pokémon Showdown. So long!
Hello? Evan? I think Ed just blasted off on Andromeda. I guess I'll continue this entry without him? Although this next Pokemon is a flying type, like Celesteela, it's actually going to fall under my favorite poison type. Crobat is another favorite from Gen 2 that I've fallen in love with. I'm sure plenty of people despise Zubat for how annoying it is in caves, but if you actually take the time to fully raise one, a Crobat is one hell of a Pokemon. Design-wise, Crobat's multiple wings and smaller body is super appealing to me. gaining a lot of speed and some really amazing moves. Aside from using him in Pokemon Stadium 2, I never really had a good chance to use a Crobat in Gold and Silver until they released it on the 3DS. Crobat really shined for me in Gen 3, where I used one in Sapphire and Gale of Darkness. It proceeded to carry me through both games with my combo of Poison Fang and Air Cutter. It's a bit of a bitch to get enough friendship in those games though, so it takes a while to evolve a Golbat, but the outcome is so worth it.
Admittedly, I don't use this Pokemon competitively, but that just shows how much love I have for this cicada-looking beast. I like Ninjask more than the Bug-type Pokemon I actually use, but he's just not meant to be used in the big leagues. Battle Frontier perhaps, but since Gen 8 doesn't really have any kind of battle facility, I don't have a will or need to find out right now. What I do have is the front runner of my team throughout both of my adventures across the Hoenn region. First time as a kid, it was a fluke. Nincada was an easy capture and I planned to swap it eventually, even after it evolved. But then I soon realized, hang on, this thing is outspeeding everything. I can actually do stuff without getting one-shotted. Then it learned Fury Cutter.
I'm serious.
In the case of Ruby and Sapphire, Fury Cutter is awesome, especially if you can get it going. It's a low-power bug move that doubles in strength every time you use it successfully. My Ninjask decimated most of the enemy trainers, so by the time I reached the gym leaders, he was powerful enough to tank most hits, barring Dragon Dance Altaria, and could deal heavy damage from the rest of his move arsenal. I think my usage of Ninjask was the reason why I remember my team so much in the Hoenn region. We fought, we struggled, we made so many memories. Yeah, I guess I could say the same thing in Oras, since I used pretty much the same team, including Ninjask, but Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire legit pissed me off, so I'm not going to give them that much of a pass. Ninjask, however, is a blast when playing casually, and if another region decides to give him a boost, I would love to use him again.
We somehow coincidentally keep segueing similar types into our number slots.
I'm not even trying to do that, but I'm glad it's working out for you.
Once again, my favorite electric type also happens to be a bug type, Galvantula. I remember when I first saw him as I scoured YouTube for hints of Pokemon coming out in black and white. I was thrilled to be getting another spider Pokemon, as I feel it's a much-deserved species to have a Pokemon be created from, just like the wolf. I promised myself I'd be getting a Galvantula as soon as I beat Clay in Driftvale City, and holy shit did that Tarantula carry me through the game. Electroweb, Bug Buzz, and some pretty amazing stats and coverage really helped pull me through some sticky situations. I've yet to make one competitively, but it's still gonna be a goal of mine. As much as I hate fueling Ed's ego, Generation 5 has some of the best Pokemon released in the game so far, some of which you'll see later in this countdown.
What do you mean, ego? I wasn't even being snarky about that. Hey there guys, thank you for getting this far in the video. I know I didn't make any indications about this, but I'm afraid this video is gonna have to be a two-parter. I'm really sorry, but with my schedule I just don't have the time. But don't worry, you don't have to wait until the end of next month to see it. As soon as it's done, I'll be sure to upload it. I know this video hasn't been the best quality, and I'm sorry about that. I hope with a little more practice I'll be able to get better quality videos out there for you guys. And I hope either way you still enjoyed the video. Despite the shoddiness, I still worked really hard on this, and to be perfectly honest, I'm quite proud of it. But I am afraid to say that this is the end of the video. If you want to watch more of my content, we just happened to finish Super Mario Party not too long ago. I'll put a link in the end card for you in case you're interested. That series was also a lot of fun to make, and I hope you guys enjoy that too. Alright guys, until next time, peace.